hard putting yourself out there because you're going to get a lot of people, they're going to hate you all of a sudden for it.
And you've always done a good job at like dealing with the hate.
Yeah, I feel like I had a slow build from like when I first got in the UFC to like slowly building. It wasn't like overnight. It was like kind of slowly learned how to deal with it, which
it's hard the first time you see people talking shit about you. You're like,
even
why
still,
are
sometimes
people,
you
like,
read it,
you know, hating on me. It's weird. Right?
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. People you don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know if I've ever said anything about you, but it's like you see something like that. You're like, why would anyone say something bad about me for no reason that doesn't know me? You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those things you see, especially if it's like someone you respect. You know?
Yeah.
Like Nate was like, oh man, I said something bad about him. I feel bad because the kid's awesome. You know? Like, you see things like that. You're just like, man, that's fucking. But then you get used to it. It doesn't bother me at all anymore.
Yeah. I wonder how many people change their mind after that Peter Yan fight, though. Like, how many people disliked you?
I felt a lot of people switched, but a lot of people thought I lost that fight too, so they almost hated me more. They gave me the win, and then like I feel like I got a lot of hate. I still get hate from that fight.
But from the real OGs,
for me, that's when I started becoming a fan. I go,
yeah.
oh, this kid's the real deal. Because there was a couple, I think the guy before or something, was an exciting fight, but the guy wasn't that great.
It was Pedro Munoz. I was the eye poke, and then it was Julian Paiva. Before that was the green hair.
Some pretty good. No, the record. You actually beat some better guys than I thought.
Thomas Almeida I think he wasn't like in a great spot, but he's very skilled. Eddie Wineland's. I mean, he was kind of past his days.
You know, I went and looked at your record this morning. It was actually better than I thought. Like, okay, I was maybe hating this guy. He beat some actually pretty good guys. For some reason, I thought you were fought in like all just total cans. Like, oh, he'd actually beaten some pretty good guys.
Sometimes too, when they give you cans or someone you're supposed to beat, there's like you can go out there and beat them, but I was going out there knocking him out like highlight viral knockouts. Like that's what you're supposed to do when you're coming up and they're giving you guys like winning's one thing, but putting on a dominant, nasty performance.
Fights they gave you. You didn't just go out there and win. You went out there and just dominated.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I need to go back and watch some of your old fights. I watched a lot of your fights, but not all of them. That
Merab fight, I've only watched it twice. I rewatched it a couple weeks after, and it was completely different than the media had made it play out to be. Like, it's so crazy because at the end of the fight, people look at the stats. If you go and look at the punches they were counting, he would literally holding me, go like this, count it as a significant strike, then hold my body, go like this, hold me, and like they were counting that as significant strikes. He didn't. There's not one time he made my head snap back or do actual like damage. The first round, I made his nose bleed. His body was red. Like in my opinion, I won in the scorecard. They gave me the third round and the fifth round.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the first round was more of a win than the third round. So the fact that they gave me the third round and not the first round, I was like, I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
but
I wish I would rewatch the fight before this interview. So I watched it right before I interviewed Merab, but obviously I was a little biased because I know Merab and I was doing an interview with him. But it's
I had him running in the fifth round, sprinting around.
You almost let him up too after he like kissed your shoulder, then got up and
Herb got in my way. Who knows what I got to throw in a head kick or something?
That was legit. That was great. Great fight IQ right there.
Yeah,
you realize oh no, shit's still on.
I know. I remember punching him and Aljo kind of like stand up, getting ready, like, but he's like.
No, that was still a great reaction because a lot of people would have thought like, oh, the round's over, but like, no, the bell didn't ring. I'm lighting you up. That probably pissed you off, right? When he did that.
I just knew there was still time. Like I didn't really think like, oh, he's kissing my back. I was like, I just didn't hear the bell ring. I was like, there's still time.
I mean, even early on, even when he just turned pro, his fight IQ was so high. He was always in there, not super emotional. But now that he got his hip fixed, we weren't able to grapple.
Dude, I tore my labrum 10 weeks before that fight, and I got a couple cortisone shots to kind of numb it, but they weren't working. I was in really good shape. I was able to get in really good shape, and I had a good camp overall considering, but it's like I had one hip fighting Merab, and I feel like...
Yeah, I would love to see the rematch. I was telling Merab that too. It's a big money fight. I would love to see it, but now it's Omar and Merab. What do you think of those two?
It's going to be interesting. It's in 30 days. Like, it's a title fight. It's in 30 days, so it's like...
It came so quick.
And Umar supposedly fucking fractured his arm. Like, supposedly he's pretty injured, so like, in my mind, it's like I want the winner. Whether it's Umar or Merab, I prefer Merab. I want to get that one back bad. Like I want that one back, and I don't feel like people are super excited about that fight just because the first way it played out. But I think if people rewatch that fight, it would really. I'm excited for them because I know they're going to drop it. They always drop fights before their fight, so I'm assuming they're going to drop it on YouTube. And if people rewatch it, that was a lot closer fight.
You did hurt him with the body shot, right?
Dude, I had him really running around in the fifth round. Like 80% of that round, he was like literally just circling around, holding his guts.
Fucking drives me crazy too because everyone's like, man, you got to look up his wrestling. I'm like, bro, we have such good wrestlers.
Yeah, I agree because I realized that when you fought Sterling, he couldn't get the timing on you to even shoot. So like when he's shooting, it's like you're distancing. When people don't understand the distancing thing, like as fighters, we understand that you're not giving them the distance to shoot.
I was a lot more like I did not want to go to the ground with Aljo, and I had a rib injury going into that fight,
Yeah.
so I was like extra. There's like
Jiu-jitsu.
extra. I did not want to go there. It was life or death. With
Jiu-jitsu
Merab,
is sharp, yeah.
I was like, if he takes me down, Merab's not. He takes me that he holds him, so it wasn't in my mind. It's like, okay, I can get back up. But yeah, I need to go into that same mindset. Like, this motherfucker cannot take me down, and I know he took me down 6 times out of 15. I stuffed 9 of his takedowns. Say I'm 1 or 2 more of those takedowns, I win that fight. Like, there was positions where I wasn't scrambling, I wasn't doing certain things that I know I'm capable of doing, and I don't know, for whatever reason I wasn't doing them. But
Yeah, no, as a fan, I want to see it. Like I said, I like you and Morab, so I can't take favorites.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to see it. That's why I want Morab to win this next fight and see the rematch. I think
me
it'd be
too.
good. The thing with Morab, we kind of messed around right before the podcast started talking about. He's not the most technical, but he's insane shape. He's really tough mentally, and he just he's really strong.
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with because most guys won't shoot like over and over like that. They'll gas themselves, but he just like keeps shooting because you're so hard to shoot on. But Morab will shoot, like rechain him together. So that's, I guess, it's a hard strategy to deal with because it's so rare that a guy will shoot that many times.
Yeah, and usually his movement freezes people up. They can't get a read on him. They don't know whether he's southpaw, whether he's orthodox. He's moving side to side. He's 4 feet away from you, and Merab's just like, he's just like kind of a tard. So he'll just shoot. He'll just go and shoot, and it's just, and he penetrates real well. And I mean,
Yeah, no, he's actually won. Who was that? I remember he was outstriking someone that's supposed to be a lot better striker because he kept shooting, and then he starts hitting.
Marlon
the strike.
Reyes, maybe? Or?
Exactly. I think that was that one. Maybe a couple fights even because he shoots so much, it starts opening the hands up. With you, he didn't start landing on you, but these other guys, he did. The shots would make him start hitting him.
God, it bugs me because I don't look at Merab as like great. He's very, very good, but that's what bugs me. I'm like, I know I'm better than him, skill for skill. There was just a couple positions that I couldn't get up, and
He's mentally tough, and he's excited. I train a few 35-pounders, and I spar my guys against him. He's a hard guy to deal with.
Yeah.
The whole division, 35s, is pretty stacked. What's your opinion on the division?
Dude,
I think
it's
one of the most stacked
exciting.
divisions.
It's so exciting. Peter Yan, in my opinion, is still one of the most savage guys. Umar, I think, should beat Merab. I think Umar's probably one of the most skilled guys in the division. Corey Sandhagen, I think Corey beats Merab, to be honest.
Merab, you can't take it away from him though. When you're fighting him 25 minutes, he finds
He's
those
tough.
positions to cook that clock in and just eat up the clock.
He's good at what he does. Like I said, you could say, oh, it's not technical and stuff, but he's not easy to deal with. He's really strong too. I've trained him before. He's picked me up before in 135-pounder, and not just pick up my weight. It's like the balance and stuff. And I don't think I've ever had a 35-pounder pick me up before. I was like, what the hell?
I mean, the list of people he's beat right in a row is pretty fucking impressive.
I think Rob's really good. I'm not.
Yeah.
He's hard. It's a weird style, and you can say it's untechnical, but it works.
Yeah.
So I said I have my guys spar him sometimes, and it's like hard to deal with. I mean, like unranked with the 2 guys, Basharat brothers, that train a little bit. Have you seen them? They're super talented as well. I think they'll be on the list pretty soon. They'll be in contenders, in my opinion, in a year or two.
God, I'm curious where the Ruotolo brothers are going to be in a year or two. Those motherfuckers are going to. What do they weigh? They fight in the UFC.
Are they going to switch to fighting? Or
They are
grappling?
fighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're looking good too. Fucking landed a
4-0 now, I
nice,
think.
landed a nice right hand. Was that Cade or Ty?
these
That landed
guys
that right hand.
Cade Ruotolo. He's the one who's
Fucking
like 4-0.
Bink.
These guys are savage. Which one won the Craig Jones Invitational and won $1 million, the biggest pay ever in a grappling?
That was sick.
He was savage.
And they don't even, it seems like they're just like,
He keeps moving, doesn't get tired.
yeah, they don't really, the money's cool for them, but it seems like they just love to compete.
No, they just go.
And their styles are so fun to watch.
That's because a lot of the new jiu-jitsu guys, they don't transfer over to fighting that well. I don't notice because it's all the butt scooting and stuff. Like my generation was takedown, pass guard, but like those
That's
guys,
sick,
I think those guys can transfer over.
And they're young bucks too, and like even in their ONE FC fights, they're fighting good guys and nice and composed. He's not like forcing the takedown so much. And
You see that fight?
No, I'm gonna look these fights up. I didn't know they were fighting.
Cracked with the right hand, fucking shot.
I had no
darts.
idea they were fighting. I'm gonna look this up
sick.
because I'm a big fan of theirs in jiu-jitsu. Those kids are savage.
I heard they really want to be in the UFC, so I bet 2 more fights with
fire.
one. I bet they'll be over in the
They're
UFC.
big though, right? Like 170, 155.
Probably a 70 and 55, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
maybe
that'd be
with the night before weigh-ins, they could cut more though. Because jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, some jiu-jitsu things are night before. Because which one won that $1 million? I get him confused. Cade or Ty?
Cade.
Cade, yeah. He had a match, his semifinal match with
The wrestler?
No, it was not for the wrestler. That was good too. There's a semifinal one with. Damn, I can't think of the name.
Was it
but
Levi Jones Leary? Maybe.
Tackett?
Or
Tackett, yeah, Tackett, Andrew Tackett, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Andrew Tackett, dude, that's one of the best jiu-jitsu matches.
Yeah.
They ended a
Oh,
finish,
yeah.
but they just
That was the
15
finals, I think.
I think it was the semis.
Was it?
That should have been the finals, though.
Oh, that's
they
right,
just
that's right.
went at it for 15 minutes for no submission, but one of the most exciting matches I've seen. The whole crowd was just like,
Sometimes I can't believe how people's body holds up, how they just fucking,
They're young kids.
they're
yeah, dude,
young,
they
just
just
fucking.
went at it. I recommend going and watching that match.
Yeah.
So that was that'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they because what are they, 21, 20, like 22 maybe?
Yeah, young
oldest. Like, damn.
Young bucks.
That's going to be cool to watch.
So